A case of shamelessly manipulated evidence, tangled relationships, and lies thick as fog in a small town that only seemed peaceful on the outside where secrets linger in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered. Because when the line between truth and fiction disappears, maybe we all have to start questioning everything we thought we knew. What happens when the very people trusted to deliver justice stand accused of staging an elaborate show, from collecting blood samples in plastic beer cups to flipping surveillance footage just to fit their story? And why did those pieces of taillight, the so-called smoking gun, show up, almost magically, weeks later after the snow had melted, with police saying they just appeared on their own? Was there really some carefully planned conspiracy at play here, or was it all just a mess of amateur mistakes from people in over their heads? Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on the case, the web of lies behind the death of Officer John O'Keefe. On a bone-chilling January morning, back in 2022, in the quiet little town of Canton, Massachusetts, something happened that would shake the community to its core. A Boston police officer was found dead on the front lawn of a house. Now, at first, it sounded simple enough, a tragic accident on a stormy, snow-filled night. But as strange details started to surface, from shattered taillight pieces to surveillance videos that had been mysteriously edited, a colder, darker question began to creep into everyone's mind. Was this really just an accident, or was it a carefully staged cover-up to hide something much more sinister? John O'Keefe was no ordinary cop. He was dedicated one of those guys who dreamed of being the good man, just like his granddad, a legendary officer in his own right. John was warm-hearted and well-loved, the kind of man who stepped up to raise his niece and nephew after tragedy, hit his family not once, but twice. His life wasn't easy, far from it, but it was full of love for those kids, a bright spot in all the hardship. And yet, in the early hours of that freezing January morning, everything changed. John's story came to a sudden, heartbreaking end right there, in front of a house at 34 Fairview Road. Stories like this haunt me because in small-town America, truth is so often stranger and darker than it seems. Was this truly a good man's tragic end, or the start of a web of secrets yet to unravel? It was the morning of the 29th of January, 2022, a day that would change everything. John O'Keefe was found barely alive, lying in the snow-covered grass. He was rushed to the hospital, but despite every effort, he didn't make it, his body battered, his temperature dangerously low. Police were quick to pin the blame on his girlfriend, Karen Reed, saying she ran him over with her Lexus SUV, then left him out there to face the blizzard alone. The smoking gun? Pieces of her taillights scattered across the Albert's snowy yard, right by where John's body was found. But here's the thing, was it really that simple? Even before John O'Keefe's body was found, there was something off about 34 Fairview Road. The new family who moved in started noticing strange things right away. Strangers would drive by, slow down, sometimes even stop just to snap pictures of the place, like it was some kind of landmark. And here's where it gets even weirder. That house hit the market in November 2022, right before the holidays, a seriously odd time in the real estate world. The price? It dropped fast, from $949,000 all the way down to $495,000. That's almost unheard of in a neighborhood where houses usually get snapped up in a heartbeat. Something about 34 Fairview Road just didn't add up. To better understand this case, we need to picture a complex cast of characters. The house at 34 Fairview Road belongs to the Albert family, a highly influential family in Canton. Brian Albert, the homeowner, was formerly the head of the fugitive unit at the Boston Police Department, and his brother, Kevin Albert, is a detective with the Canton Police Department. Brian's wife, Nicole Albert, has a sister named Jennifer McCabe, who, along with Karen Reed, found John O'Keefe and called 911. Another of Brian's brothers, Chris Albert, owns DNA Pizza and Subs, and also serves on the Canton Select Board, the governing body overseeing the Canton Police Department. This tangled web of relationships would later become central to the suspicions surrounding the case.